Alright, let's get through this. Alright, on that 6,100 points for y'all. Okay. When I think about DHA or deployment health, a few things right off the bat I know I have to remember for the test. Alright? One thing is form numbers, right? Form numbers for what? Health assessments. Your pre, your post, and your re, right? What else am I have to remember? Time frames. Alright, those are the big things I'm gonna have to remember out of this, right? So keep that in mind while we're going through it. Alright. Use that identify, blah, blah, blah. Alright, here we go. Alright. 2795, pre-deployment, 2796, post-deployment, 2900. Super easy, right? 95 and 96, pre and post. And then 2900, not even off the rocker, right? Reassessment. They'll try to throw 2808 in there, 2807, they'll try to throw DD85, you know, all these other forms that are physical health assessment forms or physical examination forms, the history forms, whatever. 2795, 2796, and 2900. Right? And then they'll also try to throw in your DHA form, right, which is an even close. Right, well, you remember those three? Forget it. Alright? DHAs are limited periods of 30 days or greater. Alright? I've seen that in the test as well. How many days is limited periods? Redeployment, return personnel, okay. Short for more than 30 days with duties involving operations of components without a fixed NCF. Okay. So what they'll try to get you on this is they're going to put, you know, they're going to ask you this question, and you're going to think of, you're going to say 30 days, right? You're going to, oh, 30 days. And then you're going to look at D and it's going to say 31, and you're going to go, crap, is it more than 30? Or is it 30? Who's done it? Yeah, you ain't got to raise your hands. Like, I'm done. I did it. Right? It's short for more than 30 days with duties involving operations of CONUS. Okay? Don't need it. Alright, this one was on as well. Who can review it? Physician, PAMP, or IDC. Alright, they're going to try to throw a registered nurse or something like that. Or I've seen Fleet Marine Force Corpsman. Like, hey, that doesn't mean you go and grab Doc's stamp and sign it. That means you sign it yourself. Either way, you still don't do it. Never done that. Alright, so remember that. Physician, PAMP, IDC. Alright, and they may throw in there IDC, you know, register, you know, some nurse practitioner type thing, which is right, or they'll try to throw a registered nurse and then they'll put in, you know, special amphibious IDC. It's still nice. Okay. And the pre-DHA or pre-deployment health assessment will be administered at home station or in NPS no earlier than 120 days. All right, you're going to label that as 120 days or 4 months. All right, there we go. All right, you're going to label that as 120 days or 4 months. Okay. So if you get all dragged up for a test now, 120 days, you read the question like 120 days, and you look at it like, oh shit, just do some math. Post-deployment DHA will be completed close to the return of the day as possible, but no earlier than 30 days. I've seen all three of these on the exam. And no later than 30 days from deployment. So expected redeployment date, so no earlier than 30 days of expected redeployment date, and no later than 30 days from deployment. Don't be confused on that. 30, 30. This is out there 30. It's like any answer that has CO on it, pick it. Don't pick it. Same. RC member shall complete before being released from active duty. So anybody reserves, is that what reserves? There have been a few reserve questions. How was that announcement?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Where are you at?
Reno Valley, California.
Okay, we'll probably look to figure that out. Alright, so I have have seen more reserve questions on the exam. I've seen more reserve questions on the exam. So, but if they refer to, if they put a RC member's PHA is due, is it any different than an active duty member? No, it's completely the same. Now we'll go over, I think PHA is a little bit different on that, but point-wise, same. Requirements are still the same. All right, PDHRA, which is what form number?
2900.
2900. Shall be completed within 90 to 180 days after deployment. All right. Service members should deploy for more than 30 days. More than 30 days in a period of 12 months will receive PDHRA concurrent with annual PHA. All right. If we go into more, it's not going to test it. I've seen this one as well. Service members separating from active duty prior to 90 to 100 day window for PDHAs must receive concurrent PDHA and separation health assessment. They usually ask the question, how many, what's the time frame or how many days does a member have to receive concurrent PDHA? All right, just remember 6 months. All right, same thing for separation paperwork. Right, you have to have 6 months, 180 days. Always 180 days for anybody separating. Right, it's different for somebody that's coming off a deployment to go on another deployment. The separation, 180 days. Reserve component, service members returning to drill status must complete the PDHA. Same thing. Okay. Did see this on the test, on my test at least. Service members who are overdue for PHA post-deployment, PDHRA cannot complete the NAPERS 6110/3 Part Q. It asks the question like, same thing, when somebody's overdue, they cannot complete what form in PRIMS? Right? So, how do I know that this is a PRT form? Just one second. Alright, what's the instruction for Juliet? Nope. DHA responsibility, CNO, provide quarterly compliance to the CNO. Quarterly compliance. I may have seen that. I've seen so many questions, the answer is quarterly, it's ridiculous. Right? Quarterly compliance with the CNO. Provide quarterly. I haven't seen any of these on the exam. Have you guys seen? I haven't seen anything involving the CNO. UMed. Responsibility, DHA. I haven't seen any of these either. I mean, you can write questions for it, but that wouldn't be that hard. Operation command, so I use MERS to identify. So I've seen that, like what system do you utilize for DHA? MERS, or it might have it written out, but they're acronyming everything. That. Haven't seen any of that. I gotta go. I haven't seen this, but if I was writing it, like for the RC, I'd say like, how can reservist members complete their PDHRA? And I would make it like, see a physician, by phone, another thing, and then A and B, right? Because they can do it by phone. They're the only ones that can call into the number and say, hey, can you do it? And then the doc will get on the line, they'll call them back and they'll complete it. So if I was making a question, is it going to be on there? Probably not. You understand? So you have not. Alright, all conditions resulting in non-employable termination shall be documented for further follow-up by a service member's primary care physician upon return to patient command or not. Alright. Haven't seen that, but I probably know that because that's easily a test question. Talking about non-employable terminations and where they're documented, or who documents them. Right? They may be like, who documents them? They may say like EMPS, there's PCM, their corpsman, their CO. Right? IA redeployment service members complete post-deployment PHA. forms. Quick and easy. All right, so if I am referencing DHA, first of all, what is the reference number? Is it OPNAP, UMed instruction? 6100 what? 23. What are the three forms I need to know?
2795, 2796, and 2900.
All right, you tell me all three and list them by name. Right, excuse me, what's your name? Austin. I don't want to say you, sorry. Austin, give me the answer.
It was
Hell yeah, you can know. That's fine. What's the 2795?
2795. That's the free.
What's the 2900?
That's the free.
Boom. All right. Luckily, I'm not reading this test to you because you all nervous and shit. All right, you're fine. All right. What are my timelines? 30 days for what? Free. All right. What's my timeline for post? 90 to what? 180. What's my timeline for completing a pre-deployment prior to deployment? 120 days or? All right. That's all. That's the basics you need to get out of this. Basics you need to get out of this. Dates, when things are due, what are the form numbers? Everything else is self-explanatory. If I come to you and I say, Andrew, how do I document a post-deployment health system? Or where do I document it? Where do I document it? If I want to update a date on a post-deployment health system, where do I do it? Where do I update any date? How about an IMS? If I want to put an IMS into the computer, where do I do it? Immunizations, blood work. MERS? Okay. All right, there you go. See? Boom, learning. Education, right? So easy things like that. Don't nuke it. All right? Has anybody here used SAMs? Besides me. You've used SAMs on shipwrecks? Yes. It's all old stuff, right? I used SAMs when it was a floppy disk. We had stacks of floppy disks. Like, oh my, it was killing me. And then went to MERS and they're like, hey, put everything in SAMs in the MERS. It's like, oh God. Alright? So, you gotta use the SAM, use the MERS. Alright? And then what system, where can you complete EDHAs? In what system? Not MERS, not where you document. Where do you complete them?
Alta.
EDHA, right? Who's done a pre or post-deployment health assessment? Where do you go? EDHA, right? Electronic deployment health assessments. That's where your docs go in there and ask you the questions, and then first of all, you're like, hey, what's the passphrase? And it's usually like, yeah, maybe, exclamation point. That's how you do it. So EDHA is a system you do it. MERS is a system you document. And then forms and dates. Pretty solid. Sometime by then. Alright, the next thing we're going over is the NCTP 30 TAC 40 Alpha. Alright, how many things in your reference start with this?
Everything.
I know 3 at least, right? Alright, so make sure if you're not dealing with the NRPC, if you're dealing with the NRPC, it's something totally different. If it's the NRPC 3 TAC 40 Alpha point 1 is what? We just went over the very first one. Right? It's the casualties for NBC. Right? So just know what you're doing. What's going on? I'll be done in about. Alright. So your NCTP 30 TAC 40 Alpha Health Service Support Operations. Chapter 3 Operations, Chapter 4 Logistics, and everyone's favorite, your AMOS and your ADOS list. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, on my last exam and every exam I've ever done, they've asked me what is the AL number for something. Something. And I study everything. It's like, oh man, I know the x-ray, and I know the sick call, and I know the dental, and I know the VAS, and I know the lab, and I know this. And then they're like, what is the supply ABC one up. For dental. You know, that's usually when I want to put an E block and write my own answer. I can't do that. Alright. So we'll cover it. Alright. Operations. Large 4 commands are responsible for coordinating HSS within the area of operations. Know that. I've seen that on the test. Who is responsible for HSS within the area of operations? Right? It usually says MAR4, COCOM, TICOM, or Chief of PMed. Alright? I've seen that one. The MAR4 surgeon, general officers, medical planner, preventive med, or PMT, and admin advise the MAR4 commander. Do they? Yeah, they do. But usually the MAR4 commander is going to say whatever. If they say, I don't need them, he's going to be like, I want them, and you get them anyway. So pretty much the only one I've seen this one. Alright, the MAR4 commander is responsible for HS. Alright, the MEF. Alright. The MAR4 deals with matters more of the operational levels, while the MEF is more focused on the tactical levels of war. Okay. Know the differences of MAR4 and MEF. They're going to tell you, they're going to give you one of those. And they're going to give you MAR4, they're going to give you MEF, they're going to give you MAGTAF, they're going to give you something. Alright? So you need to know the differences between the MEF and the MAR4. Okay? MEF COs bear the same responsibilities. I haven't seen that. Health service support beyond organic capabilities, GC and AC normally provide tasks. I saw this one on the last one. I did. I saw this exact one. So where does task organizations come for medical and dental science technology? I saw that one on the last one. I mean, not very cheap, but I saw that one. Additional support may be needed. I didn't see it in that form. I think we're going to go over CRTSs and here a little bit. Okay, so your Marine Division. And medical staff division headquarters for division surgeon, medical plans officers, general psychiatrist, operational stress control readiness. Alright, so who's worked for division? Who's worked in a battalion? Alright, so we kind of know how division works, right? Who's worked MOG? Alright, so you know what MOG. Who's worked dental time, anything else, right? So you guys have a little up on this because you have the ability to at least cancel one out that you're like, yeah, I've done that before, that ain't it, right? So with the division, just know there's going to be division surgeon, medical plans officer. Same thing when we look on the MEF. You'll see a little bit of differences, but similarities are still there. Units while deployed. Oh, when units while the divisions deploy, the regular battalion surgeon assumes the planning responsibilities. I've seen that one. When a smaller unit, all right, your reg or battalion surgeons assume the planning. So if you're in division and you're deploying as a division, who assumes the planning and responsibilities? The division surgeon. Right. Marine Air Wing or your MOP. Now who's working at MOP? Swinging with a wing. Right. Same med staff, same planning, we're focused on AC activities. The MOS, Prize, Marine. I haven't seen any of that. Have you seen anything on the test? I haven't. I might care about the wing. Like, oh, where'd you spin the wing from? Yeah. Alright. MOG surgeon advises the commander, the health command. We've already discussed this. Alright, I think I've seen this one. The HSSO, which is what? Alright, serves as officer in charge or OIC in medical sections of the COC during the exercise of the COC. Not changing command. Command control. Alright. COC. So I've seen this one. MOG has a majority of MEF's medical capabilities and Metatyne and 3 cert. I've seen a similar question on that. I don't know if it was for MEFs or it was for surgical units. Alright, MOG contains your general battalion, Haven't really seen that except within a question, within itself, but it was backwards, like who has medical battalion and dumb battalion in MLG. Other than that, I haven't really seen it. Your med log, have seen this, medical supplies and equipment for class 8. I've seen that question. And then the MEFR managed medical logistics company. I don't think I've seen this in the exam, but it was for like who supplies fresh water and supplies for ship, and it was like NAD space log and med log, but I don't think I've actually seen where this was the correct answer, or I guess wrong, but I haven't seen one have that as the correct answer. All right, the med log contains medical equipment, centralized acquisitions, storing, and stock rotations. Stock rotations have usually 15 days per month. Construct medical supply sets, AMOLs, ADOLs, and we'll cover in a minute today, and resupplies for your ADOLs and AMOLs. What's the AMOLs and ADOLs? What's the difference? Then you have your medical battalion. Pretty easy, pretty simple. The head of your medical, if you're deploying as medical battalion, who is does medical battalion fall under division surgeon? No. Why? Who's division surgeon fall under? Okay. Alright. Cool. Which falls under what? Awesome. Okay. Each surgical company contains several platoons with FRSSs, 4 resuscitation surgical teams, STPs, or shock trauma platoons, and a ward for temporary casualties and holding. I hope it goes over this. Alright, I think it's going to go over numbers here in a little bit. If not, I'll go over. Also, HNS company has embedded a surgical company with 2 surgical platoons to provide Rule 2 care when required. That's probably something good to know. Like, what can surgical company provide? What kind of care? Rule 1, 2, 3, or 4. As residents within the medical battalion, PrevMed sections comprised of environmental. All right. What I've gotten out of anything with PrevMed involving this, if it involves infection control, anything preventive med, and it says who is your liaison, and it has like CDC, who, it's PrevMed. It's a PrevMed unit. I've fought that tooth and nail, but it's all because the PrevMed unit ends up referring to the CDC, but it's who do you refer to? That got me again. MOG headquarters and service companies. I don't think I've seen any of this. Maybe this Infectious Research Code, C search teams. All right, your STPs. No. Okay, with all this, haven't seen surgical company, maybe Role 1 medical treatment for your surgical company, but your FRSS, I have seen this, which the one I've seen is how many surgeons are in FRSS. That's the one I've seen. So maybe look at this and see who identifies within a forward resuscitation. And this is really going to screw me up when they implement it into the you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, what is this? And I'm like, 8404. They're going to give me all this. I'm like, oh, crap. So once they implement that, I'm going to go a little crazy. But the only one I've seen out of that is how many surgeons.
When is that supposed to be implemented? Sorry. It already is.
Yeah, that's above my pay grade. When they implemented the test, it's already implemented now. When you fill out any like designation letters and stuff like that, is in there now.
So I don't know if it's still called that anymore, but I just went on an ERSS deployment, and we had 1 surgeon, an anesthesiologist, an IDC, 1 8404, and 2 OR techs. So essentially the same thing.
That's probably going to be a change transmittal, but the reference says, right? And that's the thing that kind of sucks as being out in the fleet, right? Is you now interact with everything new, right? Well, what's the reference say?
ERSS. Expeditionary Resuscitative Surgical System. but it has one less
I also
surgeon.
thought that it had 2 surgeons.
Was it one less surgeon because of facility or one less surgeon? That's the facility.
As a whole, there's only 8 members.
Because
Go further instruction. This one right here. For studying, but will that change when transmittal happen next cycle? Maybe. But it'll usually say with change, transmittal, whatever. Alright, so your view. Alright, each view element deploys its own organic HSS capability. HSS structure, HSSD structure, false on CLB, medical specific, shotgun, I haven't seen it. Okay. I haven't seen anything on a cat. I haven't seen anything. Alright, MagTap. I haven't seen MagTap in there. So your casualty receiving and treatment shifts. Here we go, here's the meat. Alright. So your CRTSs are what? What are they? Alright, so they're what? Shifts. Alright. So boom. Right back. So medical spaces include 4 to 6 operating rooms, 15 beds, intensive care, quiet room, 45 ward beds, 6 isolations. Know all of those. Because in some way or form, they're going to put one of those into your test. I get it. It's been on every one, in one shape or another. All right. To include this 84 Navy medical personnel.
I have a question because I think I remember seeing this on there. So when it says 6 isolation and overflow beds, does that mean 6 isolation and 6 overflow, or 6 total of those two?
6 isolation and 6 overflow.
So 12. Okay.
So did it say how many isolation and overflow, or how many isolation and overflow beds are there?
If I remember how it was worded, it wasn't. They used all the numbers.
Okay.
So they said 6
If you've
isolation,
seen
6
this,
overflow.
what I want you to do, because this exact verbiage probably wasn't taken out of the reference.
Right.
So go to the reference and see what that exact verbiage says. If you've seen it before, go back and look.
Okay.
All right. That's going to be, I guarantee, one of these and this paragraph's going to be in there. I've seen this one probably 5 or 6 times with the 84 and 80 medical park personnel. I've seen that one multiple times. I've also seen this. What is suitable? LHD or LHA. I've seen it where it's LHA, LPD. You know, I've seen it multiple ways, but I've seen this question in there a few times. Which ships are suitable? Your LHD and your LHA. Who's been on there? You on there? What is that? The number? I can tell them apart. Okay. Good, Arnold. All right. Expeditionary medical facility. So your hospital ships, THS. Who owns this? MSC. I've seen that on a test. Who owns ATH? Fleet surgical teams. I've also seen this, 9 FSTs. And I may have seen this, MLG managers liaison with HSAP, and may have seen that, but not worded that way. But I know I've seen this one. Alright, any questions on operations? For Mu, MagTap, MEF, MOG. You kind of understand the basics of it, you get it. Right? I have my wing, yes. If I have my wing, right? I'm dealing with air shit. If I got my MEF or my MagTap, or MagTap's different. If I have my MEF, more division, battalion type stuff, and I got my MOG, I have my med log, my med battalion, my belt.
I don't know if I'm on the right chapter, but I know for FRSs, we talked about how long they can hold patients over.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like is it 36 to 48 hours and things like that? Go in your reference and study. This is why I want you to bring stuff up like that, because we're not going to catch everything, right? Because if we had to catch everything and sit here and be here forever, right? But this is why you're important to come up with that. Everybody hear that? Right? Each one is surgical shock platoons and all these, they have a time frame that they hold patients. Right? If you want to go and study that, it might be good for you to do it. You like that? I've heard a lot of you guys. Not good ones, but I heard a lot. Health service support encompasses procedure, man, your responsibility allowance. Alright, I've seen this one. Yes, I've seen this one. Alright. So, allowance is the source of logistics. Alright. And it'll say, like, you know, what's the total amount of days the MEF can support MO8 or whatever, or for MEF, right? So you got 60 days for your MEV, which is your Marine Expeditionary Brigade, is 30 days. Your Maritime Repositioning Force is 30 days. I have seen this one specifically 3 or 4 times. Yes.
Can I just give you guys a simple way I remember this?
Yes.
Fucking 15 days, me and you can live off our supply for 15 days. Me and you. The brigade, you got a paper out. Everybody's got to pay out at the end of the month. The paper brigade gets 30 days of notice. Does that make sense? Pay at the end of the 30 days, and then NDF is like most excellent for sure. 60 days.
Hey, I like it. If there's a way you can do it, see, now that he said that, you laughed at it, you're going to remember it now. You're like, I remember that guy. It's a way to learn. I like it. Alright, so just make sure you remember that. Like I said, I've seen the MU and I've seen the MEF. But I've seen the MU more. Your dental allowances for operations more than 60 days, medical resupply provided by MAGTF. All the rest of them I haven't seen. That's the only one I've seen. And we'll discuss Appendix A here shortly. Individual health services support equipment. Haven't seen that. Haven't seen that. Combat resupply. Class 8. Class 8 was on the last one, remember? Class 8. And that, no, I haven't seen it. Alright. So my biggest thing on logistics is know these. Know these. And then your okay. AMOLs and ADOLs. Alright. However you remember this is how you remember it. Alright? If you want to put your brain in ancillary services and you want to use a chain of command within your brain to figure out, like, I'm going to walk to the freaking lab before I go to the x-ray, however you want to do it. Do it. Alright? I can't give you some magic way to do that. That's kind of how I did it. That's the only way I said it. Right? Like, oh, I go to the lab, you know, and that's where it starts. You know, 18, and then of course I go over here. And I know Prev Mid is 638 because I've seen that one like 4 freaking times on the test. All right. So as I study more and more, I'm like, all right, I know that one because that's usually one I've seen, and then I know this one. And then I'm like, all right, I know that equipment always comes before supply. All right, and you see equipment, supply. Equipment, supply. Equipment, supply. All right? So if I can get around the number, I'll pick the one less. All right? It's how you can learn. It's how you're going to see it. All right? I can't tell you that I know all these right off the bat, but I know somewhere in the area that they are. All right? So lab and x-ray, shock and surgical triage equipment to my supply, right? Equipment to my supply. I know my battalion aid station, equipment and supply, Med 3738, operating room after that. The big thing is your dental, which is yeah, 662. I was right, too. Alright. I know my 6 call 699. I remember that one since my very first time I ever studied this. Because I was young and you guys, I don't have to say anything. Right? You will understand. Okay. So all I can tell you to do is repetitively study this, flip cards, figure out some type of paper route. I don't know, whatever you want to do to figure it out. There's no really way, easily do it. Maybe go to Mastery Progress thing and maybe he has something. Alright. So with AMOS and ADOS, that's pretty much all I can give you is you just need to look at that. What helped me was creating those quizzes and just memorization, you know, how sometimes if you write questions for yourself and you're doing like your own test and you read like half your question and you automatically know the answer and you go to the next one, right? That's the sort of things you can do with AMOS and ADOS. Right? Because all you're reading is dental supply. Right? Excellent. Alright. If you can get the last number or the last two numbers, you're going to get close. Right? But AMOS and ADOS, you got to know them all. You never know what you like. Me, I was like, oh, got it. And then they're like, CRNE. I was like, are you kidding me? But I knew what all the rest of them were. You know what I'm saying? Like, they give me 4. I knew what 3 of them were. I was like, that's got to be it. Alright? So at least you can help yourself out a little bit by getting some information. Cool? Hey, Jay, you gonna give him 5? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, bro. Hey, take 5. Hey, nice seeing you. I won't be back the rest of the week. You guys, like I said, I'm over at 2-8. You want to come by when you get in advance and come by and have a discussion. How's your workout?
It's a hybrid. It's like jelly. It's like you can't, like we had to get box springs. Let me tell you, that was like the best. It's not the one that like, you know, you wake up and your stomach is full. You don't wake up and your, you know, joints are hurting and like sink into the bed all night. But what's the one? You can do a 10-year protection plan.
That's a hard one to send one back.
Yeah, so then can I $309 without taxes, without shipping. Let's go see what the one I want is Amazon. I don't know, I trust Sam's Club a lot, and I feel like they back me up, like with my warranty stuff, whereas like, I mean, I trust that, but I feel like there'll be a lot of hassle through.
Sam's Club. You can buy something there, it'll break, you can take it back, and they don't have to do something.
Yeah, that's what I told her, I was like, go with
I had
Sam.
an airbag that got a hole in it, like 2 years later, we put back Sam's Club, you got it.
That's why I love Sam's Club. Sam's Club has, yep,
Really?
that's where my tires are. All the way to my tires.
Yeah.
Yo, they're the best.
Tire pops on the road.
Just call them up. Yeah, you get a little piece of everything. I just got mine done.
In Mostly, you go in there, Mostly used to be like $20 off one, but the next week it was like $130 instead of $4. Yeah, Sam's and Walmart are the 2 best options for tires. Yeah, it really is.
I'm about to take the test for my
I'll wait for you to get back.
No, go ahead, 'cause I gotta hear you talk. The mic is like cracking and shit.
Is everybody back? You got everybody back? We missed anyone? Alright, I'm H1 Miller, I'm IDC at 2-8, over with H1 McKinley. So we're gonna get all 2-8 H1s today. Next one is H1 Bigelow, so been in the Navy over 12.5 years. It's been a long time since I took the H2 exam, so I don't have to fucking clue what's on it. So if you were coming here looking, ooh, what's on the test, what have I seen? I'm that guy that takes it and don't remember any questions after I got done. I have test amnesia. How I became H1, that's a great idea. So if I can go to anyone, she can go to IDC school. Okay. Alright, so we're going over emergency war surgery, revision 4, aeromedical evacuation. I'll be honest with you, as H3s, H2s, this is you're never probably gonna ever see this. Unless you go to like Germany and that one guy who handles all this stuff, then it'll come. Which I've known a guy who had to do that. But for most part, most of you, it's good to know big picture what's going on, but all of this is happening way above you. Unless you end up on one of these teams that we're about to talk about, okay? Basic terms, CASVAC, medevac. Big difference is,
What's taking them?
huh?
What's taking them?
Air transporting.
How they're going?
One's got medical, one doesn't, right? And the air medical evacuation is the Air Force usually, and that's fixed wing aircraft, usually from theater to theater. So for example, from Bastion Air Force Base, Afghanistan, I think so, to like Landstuhl, Germany, you'd be using Air Force. You wouldn't be using Air Force for, PB shithole too. En route care, maintenance treatment, initiate prior to evacuation, sustain of that treatment through the evacuation. Pretty simple. So medical considerations, you're stable, they can withstand transport. You don't want to put a dude who's crashing on a bird, right? They will kick him off. Happened to one of my guys. Ready to transpo to Germany, put him on the bird, he crashed. Took him off the bird, stabilized him the next day, he went to Germany. Alright, so we gotta make sure all your interventions are in place. This will come down to you guys, because the doctor like, alright, get that guy ready to go, right? He's got an ET tube in, make sure that's secured. Cry, chest tube, making sure the tube's secured. any seals, any dressings, tourniquets, any of that. Everything's got to be secured. Can't be loose, can't be tripping or ability to come undone. We're going to secure them with one blanket along with space blanket. 3 litter straps are used to secure the patient to the litter. Remember that 3 because I took a little quiz for this and I failed it horribly before I went right into this. So, alright, so I do some reading. Alright, so you request transfer patient via the Air Force AE system must also be validated by the theater validating flight surgeon. So there is a flight surgeon somewhere who gets all these requests and says yes, 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 no, yes, no, yes. Sounds like an exciting job. So guys going from role 2 to 4 surgery teams to brigade surgeon, the brigade surgeon determines the evacuation precedence of all patients requiring evacuation from the facility. Consult should be done with the FST's chief surgeon and senior nurse. Again, doesn't reply to you, right? It's nice to know, big picture, kind of tie everything in for you. In the case of the aviation environment, vital signs monitoring and neurovascular checks should be tailored due to altitude effects and restricted mobility, right? They're gonna have a whole lot of room, be able to get to things and get to places they need to. Secure the airway with a prophylactic endotracheal tube. Okay. Hopefully they're unconscious then. Wounds dressed for delayed primary closure. They do not routinely redress wounds unless you're afraid of sepsis, or they are. Cats must be bivalve. Decreased barometric pressure, cabin altitude restriction. So things like penetrating ionries, pulmonarities, pneumothorax, air splints. So who's ever put in a crack before or had like TCCC or live tissue? Right? They tell you not to inject them with air, right? Use saline. That way, if they go on a bird, that bladder doesn't lose pressure, right? Continued. In BC environments, they must be extremely deconned and time allowed for off-gassing of residual chemical agent. So they don't die while that happens. Movement may be related to the aircraft being deconned if they did something before, or a failure of air crew, and if it's a disease that needs quarantine. Procedures. These are the Air Force, sorry, I have a pointer, haha. Fixed wing, right? C-130, 135, and 17. So the evac liaison team is a 4 to 6 person comm team, usually co-located with the MTF. Alright? Aeromedical stage facilities are generally located at major transit points and manage the administrative processing and staging. So you would send them from your MTF through, these guys would do the communications, and they would stay for about anywhere from 2 to 6 hours prior to your leaving. And those facilities have up to 100 beds. Alright, evacuation precedences. Air Force is a little odd, a little different compared to ours. Urgent for us, 1 hour. Within an hour, Air Force as soon as possible. Immediate AE to save life, limb, or eyesight. Priority for us is 4. Them 24. Routine is for us is 24. The Air Force within 72 or next available mission. Reporting. So the originating physician, whether it be the IDC that's on board, the doctor, the trauma surgeon, determine the en route care. He consults with the flight surgeon to determine the care. They left an endpoint points of contact. So this is huge, and a lot of people really don't do this. Right? You go to a brief, and they'll be like, "All right, yeah, this is the person we contact for, our supplies." And they're like, "Well, what's his name?" And then you get this. Seppo? No, that's not good enough? Cool. What's his number? And you see this like staff sergeants, lieutenants, HM1s, they're just like, shit. Wasn't ready for follow-on questions. I watched that happen many times. My old XO UUP was like that. Sucked. That brief was the longest brief. Anyway, So if you're in charge of communicating with somebody that you've never seen or talked to or never even really dealt with, i.e., you know, flight surgeon or those guys that evacuation liaison team, and say, Agent 3, you're in our STP, you go and run to the comm guys for the AE. You'll be like, cool. You gotta find them, talk to them, find whoever's in charge of them, be like, yo, hey, I'm Jim, what's your name? Oh, yeah, cool, where do I find you? All right, it's that simple. Because when everything's going haywire, you do not want to be establishing those, okay? So, position must identify points of contact and test the lines of communication and rehearse patient evac drills. We had to do this when we were in the Philippines last summer. They're like, all right, here's our medevac plan. Cool. This is the guy we call. It's H1. He's in charge of all medevacs. What's his number? Our officer was like, what's his number? H1 was like, hold on. I got it right here. Have you called it yet? Sweet. Let's do that. It's not really that work. Do it. Okay, cool. He was pretty upset that we wasted the phone call. Ensure patient has enough supplies for 24 hours intra-theater and 48 inter-theater. So, pretty self-explanatory, right? So, for example, 48 hours. So, say you're giving you gave ertapenem. How often do you give ertapenem antibiotic? 24 hours, right? Say they're going to be gone for 40 if you want to send that with them for the flight team to get it, right? All right, Patient Movement Requirement Center, PMRC. Do you guys have the little classroom app and stuff? You take the quizzes and stuff? See, I took the quiz and I was like, who the fuck's PMRC? Patient Movement Requirement Center. Alright? So, don't worry about all that. The test is not going to say, hey, what's the phone number for the Air Force Base in Illinois? Okay? They're going to want to, they'll ask something stupid like, you know, where's the global, you know, oh, hey, it's some Air Force Base in Illinois. UCOM Theater, Ramstein Air Force Base, Germany. PATCOM is in Hawaii. Hickam Air Force Base. So, like, if you go on a deployment, like when we went to Okinawa, this is who we dealt with. This isn't who we would have dealt with. Did I have that number? Absolutely not. Alright, that was way above me though. I had the number for the guy with drinks. Alright, responsibility for flight surgeon's responsibilities. His authority for determining whether patients are physiologically ready for air transport. Resource for the AE system, information, communication, coordination. So the flight surgeon has to know everything about this whole thing. Because he's the end-all be-all. Like, there's always like, hey, I'll go SCH2, and I'll be like, hey, I'll go SCH for doc, right? He doesn't have anyone. So request, I don't know what BS stands for. Request versus requirement, that's fine. Physicians originating MTF submit requests for movement, timing, and destination, right? We'll go over that later. Only the validating flight surgeon and the, what's PMRC stand for? Huh? There you go, because I forgot. Can validate those requests, which then become requirements. So once the flight surgeon and the PMRC validate it, then it's a requirement, right? Request for requirement. Validation versus clearance. So clearance is a medical care event. Validation is a logistical event. Does that make sense? Decision between physicians and surgeon regarding patient conditions and needs. So here's the process, right? Request for AE mission. That would come from the STP search, right? Originating position. Validation through the PMRC, clearance to move through the MTF, through the referring, and the local flight surgeon. Alright, so you contact the local flight surgeon and the AE liaison for clearance consult. How many people are in the AE liaison? 4 to 6 people paying attention. Sweet. Determine the patient's category based on diagnosis and ability to self-help and emergency during flight. Okay. Alright, so determine the need for a critical care air transport team. It's used for movement of stabilized patients, keyword stabilized, never going to transport an unstable patient, who require higher level medical therapy or who have the potential to experience significant deterioration during movement. All right? 5-person burn transport team can be augmented as required for inhalation, injury, and or severe burns. All right, you're going to determine if this special requirements exist. Determine patient movement items required. So all the gear you need, right? Again, flight surgeon has to sign off on it. There are precedents, and then you submit your request. Basic definition of a CAT patient. Patients requiring CAT transport include those in need of intensive nursing care, constant hemodynamic monitoring, mechanical ventilation, frequent therapeutic interventions, or other medical or surgical interventions, be it vital to sustain life-threatening eyesight during movement of the patient. So these are just the indicators for CAT. Kind of went over intubation. If they've had more than 10 units of blood products in the last 24 hours, that's a lot of blood. Alright, they have oxygen requirements, unstable spine fractures, altered mental status, electrolyte replacement, unstable angina. What's angina? You guys are already way ahead of me on that. Requires intracranial monitoring. Alright, so you'll have an intensivist physician. So he'll be either critical care medicine, gen surge, anesthesiology, or emergency medicine. Critical nurse, experience the management of patient requiring medical, ventilation, invasive monitoring, and hemodynamic support. Cardio tech, they're pretty much taking care of all the equipment. Alright, so humanitarian transport requests. These can take more than 6 weeks. Pretty much what that's telling you, not medevacing any civilians. Okay? Any indigents. Patients usually have a fixable, stable problem. Lack of suitable host nation care must be documented. We prefer regional care versus sending them back tons. All the children must have an attendant. Those needing military transport require a Secretary of Defense designee status. Clearance must cover both the patient and the non-medical assistant. So, is that it? Any questions? Right? All way above your head, right? But it'll be on the test. Don't ask me what. Maybe one question. No questions? None? Alright. Record speed. Do you guys want to push on PFB or take a little break? Has anyone ever dealt with PFB before? Yes. Annoying, isn't it? Let me guess, the patient comes in, you give them the no shave shit, and then you never see them again for like 6 months to a year. And then they come back saying, I want to go to phase 2.
Oh, you catch them out there.
Nope. Took forever. Cat day, right?
My chapter is literally 2 pages. I've been like this Does that mean CP? These are pretty short ones. Like these
MCRP 31040. Chapter 1. It's a tough one, but all right, you ready?
Miller, try it again.
There. This is probably a test question, just knowing what that is.
Every time.
Every time. Alright, not a medical problem, let's have to shave every day. Affects mainly neck area, but can affect any area of shaved skin. Occurs predominantly in black African American individuals, but members of other races with strongly curved hair also develop suspicion. They are copying the instruction. Alright, so pretty much what happens, the hair's growing, curls, goes back in, they shave, piss it off. Alright? This is a fun one that I always forget. Members will not be required to be reevaluated at any time or recommended for separation. They cannot shave because of facial irritation. We refer to the ML for eval, diagnosed treatment. Individuals who have completed and failed the PFP treatment protocol would recommend for a permanent no shave status. Has anyone ever seen that?
I've seen them
Never seen it. Alright, so while they're in it, they have, while in temporary or permanent no shave status, facial hair cannot exceed 1/4 of an inch, cannot become unkept, but cannot be manicured to any style. None of that. You can't get ADCEPT if no shaving status is detrimental to good order and discipline or affects members' ability to perform. No first man article 1910-120, convenes in the government, physical or mental conditions evidenced by pseudo. Anyone ever seen that happen? Yeah. Really?
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
CED does it all the time.
Who does?
CED. We have a guy because when you get to the final phase, it's like you either get the laser treatment or you either get that or
Right, or they kick you out.
that's when they're like, yeah, see you later.
Well, I just have crappy patients and they never come in. Alright, HAPPERS 1000/1. That is your form. CO's comments regarding recommendation, documentation, and ability. I've had COs say nobody's getting a no shave check. Straight up. Across the board, nobody gets it. Yes, sir. A statement from the service member, unless they decline it, is which must be stated. Close-up photo of good quality which shows lesions. ML and service member's command will document final determination of health record. So phase 1, you have about 20 to 30 small papules, avoid shaving 3 to 4 weeks until all lesions have subsided while applying Bioform hydrochloride cream during the day. Stop the whisker by applying Retin-A cream at night while it's growing. And then brush in a circular motion with soft brush or medium firm toothbrush 4 times a day for 3 to 5 minutes. Once they subside, avoid close shaving by completing the following. Soften gray with hot, wet washcloth for 5 minutes. Use lubricating shave gel and use a PFE razor, avoiding close shave. Shave with the grain. Use only 1 stroke of each area of beard. Shave only every 1 to 2 to 3 days. Again, this is right off the instruction. Shaving with electric razor. Prepare with electric razor pre-shave. Shave with the grain. Avoid multiple reps. Don't press the razor head against the skin. Just touch it, I guess. Shave every other day. After shaving, rub in Bioform cream and any sign of irritation. Phase 2, 60 papules, continue phase 1. Then you do remove what, so you do everything, you keep doing phase 1, right? Then you remove whiskers using either of the following. Barium sulfide, use only every 48 to 72 hours, apply a quarter to half a face and start removal no later than 3 minutes after application. Remove the blunt edge of object. With short strokes against the grain, hairs remain, repeat after 30 to 60 seconds. Neutralize depilatory. Yep, that word. Apply bioform. Irritation. If irritation develops. So the alternate to barium sulfide is calcium I can't read it, triglycolate. Leave on 5 to 10 minutes. Straight edge against the grain 2 to 3 times. Rinse. Phase 3, they continue phase 1. Now they add in barber clippers and clipping guard going closer than 1 millimeter. Pull clippers close to the face so the wide is grain. Use clippers daily. Now they should be deferred to derm by the medical officer or SMDR. Possible treatment using the 1064 NM laser. They need consent to laser treatment. Affected areas designated by patient will be treated with topical anesthetic. Treatment from derm would typically include 3 treatments in 3 to 4 month period to achieve 90-95% hair reduction. They would receive a 1070 page 13 if they refuse laser treatment. You want to know why guys never want to do this? When they get out, they want to go do it. And there's your form. Pretty easy. Any questions? Awesome, no questions. Alright, thanks guys. Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.
So we can drive away.
Take a quick, 10-minute break real quick.
Fine, I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait.
I can add more memory to my phone whenever I want to go in the day. I can plug in the battery. I don't like the discount. I can use chocolate. It's a fucking nothing sweet. I had a girlfriend like that. And I was like, I don't do the
Time y'all want to back?
Right now.
I know somebody made a mental note of it though. Is everyone back? No? Alright. Alright, good afternoon. My name's Ron Bigelow from 2nd Battalion 8th Marines. I'm a Prep Med Tech, so while I'm teaching this, it's like a 2-page chapter, so this should be pretty quick. Alright, it's NCRP 3 Tech 40 Alpha Point 4, Field Hygiene and Sanitation, Chapter 1. So as with any other instruction on your bib, you might want to know the instruction name and number. I haven't taken one of y'all's exams in a while, but I just took the cheese test for the 7th time, and they asked a lot of questions about what instruction covers this. So, probably know. Alright, so DNBI. Does everybody know what DNBI is? Stand for Disease Non-Battle Injury. What does that mean? Pretty much anything that's not directly combat related. Defined as a military person who's lost to an organization by reason of disease or injury who is not a battle casualty. Definition includes persons who are dying of disease or injury due to accidents directly related to the operation or mission to which they were deployed. So if you're an Osprey heading to a mission, and as Ospreys do, it breaks down and you get hurt, you are disease non-battle injury. The acronym DNBI does not include service members missing involuntarily because of enemy action or being interned by the enemy. So MIA, POWs, not DNBI. Responsibility, disease non-battle injury. DNBI rates are critical in evaluating effectiveness of PrevMed missions in the AOR. PrevMed techs have some different systems we use to check disease rates of reportable and non-reportable conditions, communicable and non-communicable diseases. You guys don't really need to worry about that, but historically, 20% of all hospital admissions have been from combat-related injuries. I don't know if that, what do you mean? And 80% are from DNBI. So those that have decreased combat effectiveness, I don't know why they wrote that. It's 80% from disease non-battle injury. So people getting sick because they're not following basic precautions. You're responsible for all aspects of health and sanitation of your command. Only you can make command decisions concerning the health of your unit in consideration of the mission, medical threat, and condition of troops. Alright, history lesson. Sometimes they do put this stuff in there in the PrevMed questions. Togatabu Island, 1942, 134th Artillery and 404th Engineer Battalions were part of the task force preparing to attack Guadalcanal. They did not get to take part in that attack because they all got filariasis, which is transmitted by mosquitoes. Alright, 55% of the
engineers and 65% of the artillerymen contracted the disease, and both of their entire units had to be replaced, and they were useless. All right. So easily preventable through insecticides, blouse on your pants, rolling your sleeves down, all that good stuff, covering up any exposed skin, and of course, standing water. All right, Merrill's Marauders. Can't do apostrophes. Disease was an important detractor to this famous unit. The medical threat faced by the Marauders in the jungles of Burma was great. Everyone was sick, but some had to stay and fight. So they all had to stay and fight despite having frequent and intense diarrhea. So some of them had to cut the bottoms of their pants away so that they could still go during gunfights. All right, after this major battle, they were basically disbanded because everyone was so sick. All right. All right, these are different medical threats that Fred Medtex or anybody in that realm kind of evaluate before going anywhere. Heat, cold, arthropods and other animals, food and waterborne diseases, toxic industrial chemicals and materials, noise, non-battle injury, and unfit service members. All right, principles of preventive medicine measures. So in the instruction, it says preventive medicine measures, and then it uses acronym after that, so PMM. So on this last exam I took, it was different from the previous 6 ones in that it had a lot of acronyms, and it didn't tell you what the acronyms were, so you have to know what the acronyms were. So I would know what PMM stands for. Are you? So the principles: service members perform individual techniques of PMM. Chain of command plans for and enforces PMM. Field sanitation teams train service members in PMM and advise the commander and unit leaders of implementation of unit level PMM. And failure to apply PMM will result in mission failure. I think that's the last slide. Yes. I told you it was quick. It's 2 pages. Does anybody have any questions about that? You guys been studying on your own? Best thing to do for me, everyone has their own method of studying. Take like the little short ones, like this little 2-chapter one, the TRICARE pamphlets, short chapters of like the man-med, and focus on those. I mean, as far as the hospital foreman manual, everyone in here is a hospital foreman. You should know it pretty good. It used to be a requirement, it's not anymore, except for 2.8. It is a requirement. Anybody have any questions? No questions. All right. You guys have a test?
They have quizzes, access quizzes. And the PowerPoint for this is in the Google Classroom. All right, so if you go back to your classroom, it'll be listed as an item there. You won't find it on the table right now because we've got to relink it. You good, bro?
Oh, the only thing when I was taking notes to prepare for this, the only thing I wrote down that was not in the slide is the actual definition of preventive medicine measures. There are simple, common sense actions that any service member can perform, and every leader must know. It wasn't there, wasn't it? Significantly reduce loss due to DMBI. I want to know what that is. I think it wasn't there though. All right, that's it. You need a review on the 5 slides that I just went over?